Look at mama. Look at mama. Look at us.
Hey everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, this is the place where we unapologetically speak the truth that the world desperately needs to hear. Today, we're diving into an incredible story of faith, courage, and justice finally being served. Let's talk about this hero here, Bevelyn Williams, and why we're celebrating her freedom and calling out the shameful actions of the Biden administration that put her behind bars in the first place. For those who don't know, Bevelyn is a bold and faithful warrior for life and truth. She was arrested for protesting outside of an abortion clinic where she was praying and advocating for the unborn and standing up against the lies of the abortion industry. Now, let me be clear. She didn't harm anyone. A worker's hand got hurt. Big deal. Look at what they're doing to the babies. That's worth 3.5 years in jail and federal at that. Yet it's legal for the people to murder babies if the mother decides that's what she wants. This woman was there to save lives, but the Biden administration and their so called justice system saw it fit to throw her in prison under the FACE Act. The FACE Act is nothing more than a weapon used to silence pro life voices. While violent protesters in 2020 were burning cities to the ground with zero consequences, Bevelyn was sentenced to nearly 3.5 years, again in federal prison, for simply praying and advocating outside of a clinic. If that's not a political persecution, I really don't know what is. Here's a clip of Bevelyn's husband and their daughter on their way to take her to jail. Take a look.
So right now, I'm about to drive my wife to a federal facility um, to be. She has to surrender herself there, and this is due to the Harris-Biden administration. And any husband in this country, anyone that's married knows, any mother, any father knows that a separation from your loved one, a separation from a mother and a daughter at 2 years old is traumatic, and no American citizen should have to experience this in this country. Obama has the audacity to speak to black men and tell black men they need to vote for Kamala Harris when Kamala Harris administration is separating me from my wife and my wife from her daughter at 2 years old for unlawful assembly. My wife is facing 3.5 years for unlawful assembly and federal time, y'all. Okay, federal time. And it's devastating for our family, but we're gonna get through this. But I want people to know in this country, mothers, fathers, single mothers, that this cannot be tolerated, and you should not vote for Kamala, because voting for Kamala would do things like this, right? It's unacceptable, and yeah, that's what I have to say. That's what I have to say regarding it. The Biden-Harris administration made me a single father. I always envisioned growing up to be married and have my child, and that's what we did. We did things the right way. Even if you don't do things the right way, you don't make a father a single father. You don't do things like that. And for the fact that Obama is going to go lecture black men and tell black men they need to vote for Kamala Harris, and this is what she's doing to black families in this country. She's been doing this even in California, if you look at her record. So Americans, go out and vote, but I encourage y'all, I implore y'all to vote for number 45, Donald Trump.
Google, mommy gonna miss you. I love you so much. I love you, pretty girl. And I love you too, baby.
He is on point. Bevelyn and the other 20 pro lifers have received a lot of hate from the left, but there are still a few good senators out there. Take a listen to Josh Hawley, who encouraged President Trump to pardon them, and then check out what Trump did.
It's a time to right a wrong. President Trump can turn the chapter on this dark period of our history. He can right the wrongs that this last administration perpetrated. He can begin to restore the requirements that the conscience of our country puts in front of us. Mr. President, he can again renew the commitment that is found right there in our Constitution, that commitment to honor liberty of conscience, to honor the right to follow God, to live out our faith peaceably, which is exactly what these pro-life prisoners, still prisoners, were doing. And so I urge President Trump, now from this floor, to pardon these Americans unjustly persecuted, unjustly prosecuted, unjustly condemned. I urge him to pardon them and to provide once again the moral clarity and moral leadership for which this country is known, and to provide that moral clarity and moral leadership without which we cannot hope to lead the free world. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
Next, we have a set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Do you know how many?
I believe it's 23, sir.
23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been prosecuted. Many of them are elderly people. They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this. They'll be very happy. So they're all in prison now.
Some are out of custody.
It's ridiculous.
As you just saw, Trump issued a full pardon for Bevelyn and 20 other pro-life advocates who were unjustly convicted under this draconian law. Here are some of those released. This is what leadership looks like, my friends. Trump understands that defending life is not a crime, it is a calling. Now, this is my favorite part of the video. Bevelyn reunites with her family. Take a look.
Look at Mama. Look at Mama. Look at us.
President Trump, I just want to thank you for being a man of your word and bringing me home to my family. 3 months without my 2-year-old has been, words can't express what it's been for me. And just watching you sign my pardon and get me free, I'm just so grateful, and you're just a hero, and you literally saved my life. And if Kamala had won, not only do I know I would have gotten out in like 2028, but I was nervous that she would probably try to re-indict me on something else. These people are vicious, and I know this is just the beginning. This isn't the end. This is just a start, but justice has to come. But thank you for getting the ball rolling on righteousness and justice in this nation. And so just thank you from me, my daughter Eleanor, and my husband.
I thank you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, President Trump. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And we thank you. We thank you.
God bless you.
Look, you put a black family back together so they can never say you are racist.
Never.
Take care.
Let me tell you all, I am so happy that Bevelyn is free and back where she belongs, with her husband and daughter and her mission to fight for life. This woman is a wife, a mother, and a woman of faith who should have never been locked away to begin with. The Biden administration should be ashamed of themselves for targeting Christians and pro-lifers while turning a blind eye to real crimes happening every day. But let's not just stop at celebrating, let's take action. If you're gaining value from this video, please like, share, and subscribe. The world needs more people standing up for truth, and every like and share helps spread this message far and wide. There is one more topic that I want to talk about, and it is so sick, so evil, it goes beyond the abortion debate. This isn't just about politics, it's about morality, it's about humanity, it's about common decency. Something 204 Democrats just proved they do not have. And let me break this down for y'all, because it's truly unbelievable. This bill would require medical care for babies who survive an abortion attempt. Living, breathing babies, not fetuses, not clumps of cells, babies. And yet 204 Democrats decided that those babies' lives don't matter. Think about that for a second. We're not debating abortion here. We're talking about whether or not a living, breathing human being, a baby, deserves life-saving care. Apparently, the Democrats think they don't. The Democratic Party has become so extreme, they have otherwise decent people voting against their own morals and values. They'll try to spin it, say it's protecting women's rights or respecting reproductive health care, any of that nonsense. But explain to me how denying medical care to a newborn who survived an abortion has anything to do with women's rights. That's not health care. That is barbaric. Here's the truth. Democrats have sold their souls. They've sold out to an ideology that celebrates death and mocks life. It's not enough for them to fight for abortion. Now they're fighting against care for the survivors. It's evil, it's sick, and it's right there in black and white in their voting record. Chip Roy had a few words for his colleagues. Take a look.
This blatant disregard for human life has no place in the medical profession in our country. Last Congress, unfortunately, only one Democrat voted in favor of the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, and another voted present. My Democrat colleagues sent a clear message to the American people that these innocent lives are not worthy of protection, and those who intentionally let infants die after birth should not be held accountable. If a baby American, a fellow American, is lying on a table, dying, and we cannot, as Congress, as the leaders of this country, the leaders of the free world, cannot say that under the language of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, under the language of the Declaration of Independence that animates our Constitution, under the privileges and immunities, the roots of which are found in English common law, that create the bedrock of our entire justice system, then we need to make sure that that child is protected, even and especially because of its defenseless nature. That is our duty. That is why I rise in support of this legislation. That is why I urge my colleagues to support this legislation, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Now you may ask, who could be so heartless? Well, here you have it. Here are the names of the 204 Democrats who agreed to allow babies to die on the table if the mother so chooses. Pause this video and enlarge your screen if you must, but everyone needs to know who these monsters are. And remember when Kamala was the first person in the executive branch to ever visit an abortion clinic, and she was celebrated for it by so many. What has happened to us as a society when we are celebrating this evil? And I'd like to add, abortion has nothing to do with women's reproductive rights or health care or whatever they say. That's ridiculous. It's a lie that they sold the American people, and I cannot believe that so-called Christians have fallen for it. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Every baby deserves a chance at life. Every baby deserves love, care, and protection. And any politician who thinks otherwise has no business in public office. This is a battle between good and evil, life and death, light and darkness. And you better believe as long as I have breath in my body, I will always stand for the babies. Now, I'd like to end on a positive light. As you can see here, Trump has signed an executive order that no taxpayer dollars can go to this evil any longer, which is awesome. I'd rather not fund the genocide of countless innocent lives through abortion, and I'm sure most of you feel the same. This isn't just about being pro-life anymore. It's about being pro-humanity. Shame on those 204 Democrats. God help their souls. Now, President Trump has been extremely busy these past few days, and the illegals are being rounded up as we speak. I did a video covering that and the deployment of 1,500 Marines headed to the border. And if you'd like to watch that, be sure to click on the video coming up next. Stay bold, stay truthful, and stay in the fight. I'll see you in the next video.